Hey, what is up, guys? Today we're gonna do a little bit of a tutorial, kind of tips and tricks for beginners. Um, so if you guys like the video, I'm probably gonna do one for beginners, and then later on for like an intermediate player style, and then the last one I'll do will be for advanced players. So bear with me while I find us a map to run. I feel like I would really like to get
Welcome back. I've
maybe
gathered a list of
a
other hunters asking for help.
Tanglewood Unprofessional. Damn it, that's what I really wanted. That's what I wanted. So bear with me while I close this and open it a couple times.
Looks like there are others out there in need of help.
Alrighty. Jesus Christ, Grafton it is. Okay. Alrighty, guys, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to run through, you know, like a basic skills, basic tutorial, little tips and tricks for new players. Maybe you've just played the tutorial mission, or maybe you played the tutorial mission and a couple others, and there's still a lot of stuff that you're not fully aware of. I'm going to try to cover as much of that as I can for basic people. So you've got your basic supplies here. What I'm going to go ahead and add is I'm going to add a thermometer, and I better add a sanity pill, and I'm going to add... what else am I going to add? Add a camera. And let me give myself a strong flashlight. That way I can just see around a little bit better. Okay. So if you're on a budget, this would be a good little setup, especially running solo. You don't need two strong flashlights if you're by yourself. You could use them. There's things you could use them for. For the most part, you don't need them. So we're going to load this in. Alrighty.
Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the
So if you don't know, I'm just going to go super bare basics with this. If you already know this stuff, then you're not a beginner to the game, and wait for the intermediate or the advanced video to come out. So you've got your objective board here. You'll see your 4 objectives. The first one is always going to be to figure out what type of ghost we're dealing with. That objective won't be completed until after you leave, so forget about that one for now. So we're going to go to objectives 2, 3, and 4 here. So we have to witness a ghost event, capture a photo of dirty water, and detect a ghost's presence with a motion sensor. Okay. Here's the deal. With dirty water, it's super hit or miss. My recommendation would be, if you have completed every other objective and you know what the ghost is, if you don't have dirty water in a sink yet, just leave. Because you might spend 30 minutes and get it, you might spend 30 minutes and not even get it. So it's really not worth it. So just don't even bother with it. Just immediately leave, go on to your next mission. Alright? So those are our objectives. On the bottom here, it'll tell us the only thing we care about is the ghost's name, Dorothy Johnson, and if the ghost responds to everybody or people who are alone. Now, when you're playing on single player, that doesn't matter. But it does help if you're in a group of 2 to 4 people. If it responds to everyone, you can expect pretty much the same response regardless of things. If it responds to somebody when you're alone, you won't get any hits on the ghost box unless you are alone in the room with the light off. They will still do things with everyone in there. They'll still have activity with the lights on, but you won't get a ghost box hit without the light off and you alone in the room. Keep that in mind. So we know Dorothy Johnson is our ghost. You're probably going to forget that. I forget that almost every time. I grabbed the key off the table. So every map is a little bit different for me. On Grafton and on Bleasdale, on both of the farmhouses, essentially there's a lot of things you can take pictures of for extra money. It gives you interaction photos. So if I'm playing with someone else especially, but I'm going to do this the same way I'd be doing it with myself. So if I'm playing by myself, my first sweep I'm going to use the temp gun. The temp gun is always your go-to for sweeps. Always. You can find stuff on the temp gun super quick compared to anything else. A lot of people I see sweeping with like EMFs. So an EMF isn't going to ping unless something happens. So if the ghost is being shy or isn't super active yet, you could pass through that room 4 times with an EMF and nothing's going to happen. So what we're going to do, actually, I normally don't even take a flashlight in, but on the farmhouses it can get kind of dark even with the lights on. So I take, oh, I might have already heard him step. Always listen in this game. Always listen. Half the time I'll hear the ghost's footsteps. I heard a door. But half the time I'll hear footsteps or something before I actually get any temperature readings or anything like that. I heard that door. It sounded like it might have been upstairs, but I'm gonna kind of just keep doing my scan anyways because I want to look for that bone. Take a picture of the bone and then pick up the bone. It's a good way to get extra XP. Right there. There he is. So you always take a picture of him first and then pick it up after you take a picture of it. Okay. Now that the bone's got axe on the table, you'd think that'd be an interaction, but it's not. Okay. So I heard him step. I know that there's voodoo dolls downstairs. There's, what was this, Grafton, I think? The voodoo dolls always spawn in the exact same spots, so once you found them once, you know they're going to be in the same spots. There's one in this room, and then there's also one in the room right across from it. I'll show you that one in a second. But I am going to scan this room with my temp gun while I'm here. The temp gun, as you'll see, it kind of fluctuates. I keep it in Celsius just because that's what I'm used to playing at it. I'd have to fuck around with it in Fahrenheit to see what the Fahrenheit readings were. But for Celsius, if it reads below 13 degrees, you've got a pretty good option that you've got a ghost. I hear him upstairs. So I'm almost 100% confident he's fucking around upstairs. And he might be pretty active too, actually, because I heard him stepping and opening doors the second I walked in. Okay, so here's the second voodoo doll downstairs. It's on this cabinet, or the chest. Alright, so now that we've got the voodoo dolls, is there a voodoo doll upstairs? I don't think there's a voodoo doll upstairs on this map. I think this one just has the 2 voodoo dolls. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to confirm the room, and then we're pretty much just going to drop stuff. Oh, I didn't mention this earlier. Turn on lights. Because as your sanity gets low, you're more likely to get attacked, and if you want to actually complete everything and figure out what the ghost is and shit like that, oh yeah, he's up here. Figure out what the ghost is before he attacks you, turn on lights. It will significantly reduce how fastly your sanity goes down, and then you don't have to carry a flashlight. You'll see that in a lot of my videos where I don't carry a flashlight when I go into the house a lot because I don't need to. I use the lights, it helps my sanity, and it gives me an extra item to carry. Yeah, so he's definitely in this balcony, foyer thing, whatever you want to call it. He's obviously... He's active. She's active. Very active. They've touched a lot of these doors, so I haven't gotten freezing temps yet, but I know that they're here. So what I'm going to do, drop that in case I need it. I'm going to drop my flashlight too. Always... If you drop in your flashlights, do it at your own risk. On single player, I'm definitely going to do that because that extra item could be super useful. So, now our goal is going to be to get those 3 sets of evidence as quickly as we can. Sanity's still good, by the way. So I'm going to take... I should have put a tripod in. If you're going bare bones, and you take like 2 camcorders and take like a tripod or 2 also. It's more helpful than you think. So I'm taking the UV, the EMF, and the book. I know I'm going to get EMF hits pretty easy in here. It's been touching all kinds of shit. Every time it interacts with something, you'll get an EMF hit. There's like, if EMF 5 is part of the evidence, you have like a 20% chance on an EMF hit that it'll be your EMF 5. And it's also been touching doors, so I'm taking the infrared in really quick here to check for fingerprints on the doors. See, alright, so I already know I've got a piece of evidence. There's probably a fingerprint on this door because this one was open too. Yeah. Kind of figured. Okay, let me take a picture of those because that's extra interaction points. You don't have to have the infrared light shined on them. I'll show you in a second here. So the infrared light was not shined on them. But if you go to my interactions, see, I still got fingerprints. So we're going to add fingerprints, first evidence. Easy peasy. So far, so good. You can use the name if you want to try to antagonize it. But that does have a tendency to make the ghost more aggressive early on. Same thing if you swear at it, it'll make it more aggressive early on. And it's not smart to make it aggressive before you even know what it is, because there's some ghosts that you want to hide from and then there's some ghosts that you want to run from. I'll go over that probably in my intermediate video or maybe even the advanced video. Beginner video, safest bet, hide. Hide in a closet if you can. If you're in one of the farmhouses, I would go for a bathroom. But any other house, closets are your best bet. So give us a sign. Give us a sign, Dorothy. Can you give me a sign? Where are you? Give me a sign. Dorothy, show yourself. Dorothy's being shy. Just kind of weird. Okay. Here. I heard her. I hear her moving around. So another really good tactic, right? If you're dropping shit to go do things, make sure your EMF is on. Drop it somewhere on the ground near where the ghost might interact with something and keep it on there. That way, if they interact with something, you're going to get an EMF ping without having to pick it up. So, like, I know he's opened this door, so I can put it right here. So if Dorothy touches this door again, that'll ping on EMF. You could do the same thing with the phone, or you could, of course, this is the door that I didn't fucking, okay, so we're going to go and check it really quick. So, okay, so there you go, EMF 5, perfect example. Now, if it were sitting on the floor, it would immediately have started pinging for me. So now what we need to do, we have 2 pieces of evidence. As an early game player, probably just go ahead and step outside when you're fucking with your journal. I wouldn't risk messing with things inside. If you don't know what the ghost is, you don't really know what's going on, don't risk dying. So I know it's a banshee or a revenant. Now, this is a terrible combo in terms of ghost safety. So just to go over this a little bit, a banshee will target somebody, and when they use their AI targeting, which isn't every time they hunt, I've tested that. Me and my buddy have done a lot of intentional hunts to test ghost mechanics and stuff like that, and I'll probably do videos like that in the future too, just to kind of show people what they act like and stuff. Anyways, the banshee will hunt a target, essentially. Let me just pull it up on the journal, which is a great tool, especially for new players. I passed it, didn't I? So, go to a banshee. Banshee's unique strengths. A banshee will only target one person at a time. Weaknesses: banshees will fear the crucifix and are less aggressive when they're near them. Now, I don't know if you can take that literally. I do know that a banshee has a larger radius on a crucifix working on it. Normally it's 3-meter radius around the crucifix, and a banshee is a 5-meter radius. So, they stalk their prey until they make their kill. So a banshee will follow you. It doesn't have to be within line of sight. I've been killed by banshees hiding because they target me and wherever, they don't care. It doesn't matter if you're in a closet on the other side of the house. If you're its target and a hunt starts, it's going to come down there and kill you. So, why this is a terrible combo of ghosts, a banshee, ideally, you want to run from, because if it's targeting you and you stop, it's going to get you. A revenant, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. A revenant moves faster when it's hunting a victim, but if you hide, it will move it. It will cause it to move very slowly. So a Revenant you want to hide from as quickly as possible, and a Banshee you don't want to hide from at all. So it kind of puts you in a shitty spot. But I also know that Revenants and Banshees, I don't think I need. I should have looked while I was there. Alright, so Revenant, I'm still going to need Ghost Riding. And a Banshee, I'm going to need freezing temperatures. So I actually don't even need the Ghost Box. I was going to bring it in, but I don't even need it. So here's the thing with that. Freezing temperatures, I didn't even need to carry anything else in. So normally I'd be playing with more stuff, and when I came back I'd bring a bunch of shit inside with me, but when I'm doing this like light tutorial video. Anyways, okay. Pick my flashlight back up. Where is my flashlight? Am I cray-cray? Did I leave it in the truck? I kinda need that. Weak flashlight it is. Well, maybe there is a reason, even when you're by yourself, to bring more than one strong flashlight. Apparently you'll lose it. Yeah, and so we need Ghost Riding, and we need freezing temps. I haven't gotten freezing temps yet, and I've been all around. Ghost Riding is gonna be a pain in the ass. Fucking, that phone is so loud. Ghost Riding is gonna be a little difficult to get. Can you give me a sign? Give me a sign. So for freezing breath, you're gonna want to either see freezing temperatures. Oh, there's my Ghost Riding. Anyways, but for freezing temperatures, normally you're either gonna see your breath, or you're gonna want your thermometer reading to either read below 0 degrees Celsius or below like 3. Anytime it pings below 3 Celsius, it's usually gonna hit freezing. 3 seems to be its cutoff. Alright, so I'm going to take a picture of the ghost book, right? Because that'll give me an interaction, if you check this out. Right? Yep, interaction. The more interaction pics you get, the more money you get. You can take up to 3 cameras with you into a hunt at a time. I'd suggest that being temp guns, so the thermometer temp gun and extra cameras are probably the first things I would add. Because you can find the ghost super quick with temp guns, and having a bunch of cameras to take pictures with can increase your revenue pretty good too, and your XP. So let me go back and check my objectives here. I need to witness a ghost event and detect a presence on a motion sensor. Okay, well, I didn't bring a motion sensor, so I can't do that one for you guys. But normally, if I had 4 motion sensors with me, I would just set a bunch of motion sensors up, probably pretty close to that phone, and I have a feeling you'd get that pinged pretty quickly. This is one of those times where if you were lucky, you might be able to get dirty water in a sink, because it is right outside of the bathroom, but you'd kind of have to push it a little bit. And then I just need to witness a ghost event from Dorothy Johnson. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to try to provoke Dorothy Johnson a little bit so I can get a picture of her and hopefully witness a ghost event while I'm in there too. And then that's pretty much all I'll be able to do on this hunt. I do need to add my last evidence. So we got Ghost Riding. So we know that it's a Revenant. So I know that in an ideal world, if a hunt starts, I want to hide as quickly as possible. Dorothy Johnson, give us a sign. Dorothy Johnson. Dorothy Johnson. I think these give you interactions too. Let me check. No, it didn't. Maybe it's only email 5. Dorothy Johnson, give us a sign. Oh, did you turn that lamp on, Dorothy? Hey. And I watched that door open too. So I'm hoping that's going to count as a ghost event and also pictures of the ghost. So even even if it's not an objective to get a picture of the ghost, you do get bonus money for having ghost pictures. So it never hurts if you're going for like a ghost event or something like that anyways to try to get a couple of pictures. And it looks like we did get the ghost event. Yeah, we did. So that easy. Even if I had my full kit, I'd get the motion sensor one pretty easy as well. The dirty water in the sink, personally, I wouldn't mess with it. It's not worth my time. It's so hit or miss. So at that point, we should already have Revenant locked in, which we do. And we can just bounce. Revenant.
Back. I've got some jobs
So you get I got an insurance for something. But I got bone evidence. And I got photos, and I got 2 of the 4 objectives. And I got 200 XP, 'cause I was also doing it on professional. So about the difficulty differences, I don't honestly think that there is a difference in how difficult the ghosts are in the different difficulties. The main differences, the 2 main differences in my book would be on professional, you don't get a buffer timer. On intermediate, you have a 2-minute, and on amateur, you have a 5-minute. In the buffer timer, you can't be hunted no matter how much you make the ghost mad. It won't hunt you. You don't get that on professional. On professional, you also don't get insurance if you die. So if you die and you bankrolled the game and you have $1,200 worth of equipment in the game, it's all gone. It's all gone. They can't get any of it back. There's no point in I mean, I think you can still get a photo of the dead body, and then they can get a little more money from that, but from your partners, I should say. If you're playing by yourself and you die, you're just toast. I think that's... Trying to think. I think that's probably about it for my beginner. I went through it kind of fast. I probably skipped some details. If I missed anything, I'll try to go over it in the intermediate one, and I'll try to touch in a little more detail on some things, and I'll also do a different map on my intermediate tutorial just to kind of spice it up a bit, show you kind of what I do on different maps. But yeah, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And the intermediate video and the advanced video should be out at some point this week after I get everything recorded and edited down. So till next time, keep on hunting.